everybody. My claim today is that outsourcing can be a good thing. And this, of course, is different than most people's perception of it, because most people believe that it's just we're losing jobs in America and everybody wants their jobs to stay here. So I will begin with a brief statement about what it is, what outsourcing is. Outsourcing is an activity undergone by many businesses in which they relocate some aspect of their company. Sometimes it's like administrative purposes or like accounting or even manufacturing. And then this is done to save their company money in the long run, because the place where the current jobs are being held is like the salary they have to pay their workers is too much, and it's too expensive for them to operate like this. Next, I have a statistic stating that in 2002, only 0.5%, or a little over 0.5% of the 56 million jobs that were surveyed in specific fields were having the, were showing that they were outsourcing the people. So it's not too many people are being outsourced as a lot of people think there is. And then my third example would be, I was watching 60 Minutes, the news program on CBS back in the fall in October, and Scott Pelley, one of the presenters on that show, was interviewing Bill Redding. He's a he owns a factory in North Carolina, and they manufacture like ladies' hosiery, and he outsourced 600 jobs of like his manufacturing aspects to Honduras, and because he did this, he was able to save 600 jobs in America. So had he have not outsourced these 600 people, he would have lost his all the jobs entirely in America. So in conclusion, not too many people are affected by it as everyone thinks that they are, and it can save the company money, and it can also save jobs here, even though some people have to lose their jobs. But in the long run, wouldn't you rather have less jobs here than no jobs here? Thank you.
All right, Patrick, I thought that you identified the topic very clearly, and so we know what your point of view is on the subject also. The definitional stuff that you give us about outsourcing, it's not clear to me that it's supposed to be fitting in any of our supporting categories, and I don't really get any source citation on it, so I'm assuming that it doesn't really fit those categories. Now, later on, you give us a statistic, and then you've got an example from 60 Minutes, and so I've got you checked off on the statistical category and for the example category, but I don't really have anything in either of the other two categories, and I thought maybe you expected that the definition was going to fit into one of those categories, but without a source citation and without an understanding about how it's working, I thought that was a little problematic. You did cite the statistical information pretty clearly, and you mentioned the 60 Minutes interview and the story about Bill Reading, so I thought that was pretty effective of it, identifying that example. So that part worked really well. The material, I think, is organized pretty well, and it's easy to understand as you're building your point of view. You've got kind of a low-key delivery of the material, which is fine. I thought that your demeanor while you're standing there looks pretty confident, and you're in good shape there. I like the exit question, too, although I think maybe you need to kind of ask it a little bit more affirmatively. You sounded like you were just kind of passively asking the question, and I think you've got a position on this, so you ought to ask it in a way where it's pretty clear what the answer is. All right. Thanks.